Welcome back to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. It's your coach, Kavita, here with your Thursday check-in. On Monday, I shared something very personal about what my son's wedding is teaching me about change, identity, and letting go. And woven through that episode was a framework that I use constantly in my coaching work, one that I want to give its own space today, because I think it really might reframe where you are right now in a way that changes everything. William Bridges, who spent decades studying how humans move through change, said something that stopped me the first time I actually read it. He said that every transition begins not with a new beginning, but with an ending, and that between the ending and the new beginning, there is a phase he calls the neutral zone, the in-between. The place where the old has closed and the new hasn't yet arrived. Most of us want to sprint through that phase as fast as possible. I want to make the case today that it's actually the most important place that you can be. Here's how I see transitions play out with the women I work with. Something ends, a career, a role, a relationship, a season of life, a version of themselves that they've been living with for decades. And almost immediately, the pressure starts, from inside and from outside. It's to figure out what's next, to make decisions, to take actions, to move. And so they do. They take action. But the action is driven by urgency or fear or the need to just feel like they're moving again. And 6 months later, they're sitting across from me saying, I've done all the things, and I still don't feel right. I still feel like something is missing. I still feel like I'm not quite living the life I'm supposed to be living. And what I almost always find when we start working together is that they skipped the neutral zone, the in-between phase. They bypassed the very phase that was trying to give them the most important information about themselves. Because here's what I've learned. The neutral zone is not empty. It only looks empty from the outside. On the inside is actually full of questions that are finally surfacing because the old noise has quieted, full of longings you didn't have time to listen to before, full of a self that is trying to reorganize around what actually matters to you now, not what mattered to you 20 years ago, not what the world told you should matter, but what is genuinely, authentically true to you in this season of your life. And that's exactly where my coaching work begins. I don't work with women to help them take faster action. I work with them in the neutral zone to help them rediscover their ikigai or their reason for being in this season of life. What they love, what they're genuinely good at, what the world needs from them, and what sustains them. Because when you do that work, when you get clear on who you actually are underneath all the roles and the noise and the old identities, the action that follows is different. It's aligned. It's grounded. It doesn't feel like pushing or forcing or performing. It feels like becoming. That's the difference between action taken from urgency and action taken from alignment. And you can't get to the second one without spending real time in the neutral zone. So if you're in the in-between right now, if you feel like you're floating, uncertain, untethered between what was and what's next, I want you to hear this. You are not stuck. You are not behind. You are in the seedbed, as Bridges calls it, the place where everything that comes next is quietly taking root. And the question isn't how do I get out of this phase faster? The question is, what is this phase trying to show me? Bridges offers 2 questions I give to almost every client when we begin working together. The first is this: what is it time to let go of in my own life right now? Not what I've already let go of, but what am I still holding on to that it's time to release? And the second, what is standing backstage in the wings of my life, waiting to make its entrance? Those 2 questions are not small. They deserve real time and real honesty, and they are exactly where the work of the neutral zone begins. So here's what I want you to sit with this week. Which phase of a transition are you in right now? The ending, the neutral zone, or the new beginning? If you're in the neutral zone, what is it trying to show you? What has ended that you haven't fully let end yet? And what might already be waiting in the wings? If those questions are stirring something, if you're in a transition right now and you're ready to do the real work of the neutral zone rather than rush past it, that's exactly the conversations I have on a Clarity and Next Chapter call. Just the two of us figuring out where you are, what's ending, what's waiting, and what aligned action actually looks like for you. The link is in the show notes. And remember, my friend, you get to decide what comes next. So say it with me, say it with confidence. It's my time now.